Hot dog. Today I'm going to be giving my honest opinions on Super Mario Sunshine. Oh, this shouldn't piss anyone off at all. Let me start by saying there are a plethora of things in this game that I think are brilliant and intuitive. However, I think some of the game is half-baked, specifically the level design. Let's dive right in, shall we? The story of Super Mario Sunshine does not boil down to just Bowser bad, Peach kidnap, Mario save. No, this time Nintendo was feeling adventurous, but unfortunately, like my enjoyment of popcorn, that didn't last long. Mario, Peach, and an assortment of toads go on vacation to the tropical Isle Delfino. However, there's trouble upon landing, as a strange substance is blocking the runway. Upon investigation, Mario finds a device called Flood, and a piranha plant in whatever the hell this is, and dispatches it, only to be thrown in jail by the local authorities for causing said issue as well as defacing all of Isle Delfino. It turns out an imposter, disguising themselves as Mario, is the one to wreak this havoc. Mario is given community service to clean up the mess that he allegedly caused, and cannot leave Isle Delfino until he's completed his sentence. A byproduct of the doppelganger shenanigans is that Mario has to collect shine sprites for reasons. With the assistance of Flood, Mario sets off to clean up the mess because trying to file for a court appeal is difficult as a nearly silent protagonist, I guess. The one causing this mayhem is known as Shadow Mario. However, early in the game we find out Shadow Mario is actually Bowser Jr. using a device of EGAD to frame Mario. Bowser Jr. then kidnaps Peach, informing Mario that he isn't gonna take away his mama. Apparently, Bowser told Bowser Jr. that Mario kidnapped his mother at some point and that Mario is a bad man. We do learn later that Peach is indeed not Bowser Jr.'s mother, however, this just raises further questions from me. Namely, who the hell is Bowser Jr.'s mother? The game ends when Mario tracks Bowser Jr. to Corona Mountain, where he finds Bowser Jr. and Bowser in a giant jacuzzi. No, I am not making this up. Upon beating the game, there's a fake-out death with Flood, Bowser telling his son the truth, and the Toads fixing Flood. I like that Nintendo branched out with this story, however I'm irritated it turned back into saving the princess. But points for creativity. Now let's talk gameplay and controls. I love the controls in this game. The game controls smoothly, and Flood is a welcome addition. I find controlling Flood to be a lively experience, and it's rewarding to use Flood's hover for additional platforming. Flood has 2 additional nozzles that can be swapped out for the hover nozzle during certain areas of the game. The first being the rocket nozzle, which allows Mario to gain extra height. The second being the turbo nozzle, allowing Mario to run at high speeds. Although, honestly, in my playthrough, I used the turbo nozzle exactly once if I recall correctly. I feel like the nozzles are a good supplement instead of the power-ups you would see in more traditional Mario games. As for base controls, Mario has his jump, including a triple jump when jumping 3 times in succession while running. The ground pound returns from Super Mario 64, the wall jump, a front somersault I didn't even know existed until writing this review, and a side somersault I used way too much in my playthrough. There's also a belly flop slide. I loved using the belly flop to travel, you know, like a seal. If I didn't have to worry about the friction burns, this would be my preferred mode of travel. Yoshi also returns as a rideable companion after being mostly absent from Super Mario 64, despite him having food poisoning. Gross. Yoshi has mostly basic controls. He can jump, eat enemies or fruits, ground pound, flutter jump, and he can spit juice. I feel like Yoshi is underutilized though, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's move right into the gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, the gameplay and the level design is where this game falls short for me. I should mention the only reason I didn't want to 100% this game is I felt getting a postcard saying, "Have a relaxing vacation," was not worth the effort. Let's dive into the locations. The actual level locations are a sore spot for me, with areas like Rico Harbor. I abhor the design of this level. I feel like Rico Harbor only halfway feels like a harbor. The buildings and the ships are great, but what in Peach's castle is going on with these wire fences? Look at this! What the fuck am I looking at? Compare this to another harbor level from a different collectathon, Rusty Bucket Bay and Banjo-Kazooie. Now this is a harbor, so yes, I hate Rusty Bucket Bay, but that's for personal reasons, and not because I felt like it was badly designed and didn't make any sense. I felt like I was actually in a harbor, whereas in Rico Harbor, I don't. Do not get me started on some of the wire fences for getting the cage shine sprite either. There were too many times that I felt like, okay, but what now, when making my way to the shine sprite. It's a labyrinth of platforms that are way too precarious, and if you fall, there's a good chance you need to start over to get your bearings. And that's if you were even headed in the right way to begin with. What are all of these catwalks? What are their functionality? I get having a few with a crane here and there, but this entire map is a clusterfuck. Sorry. Okay, moving on. Also, I have issues with episode placement. Some of the mission placements confuse me, such as the episode where you surf on bloopers in Rico Harbor. Why am I surfing in the harbor level? Why not Gelato Beach or Serena Beach? You know, the places you'd expect to surf on a resort island. I can't be alone in this one, right? It's nitpicky, I know, but it still bothers me. This game is also determined to make you repeat fights you've already completed at least 3 times minimum. Whether it be a piranha plant, a giant blooper, or Shadow Mario, you will see these fights pop up constantly. Shadow Mario is easily among the worst, as you have to fight him in episode 7 of each world. You must chase him down and spray him with FLUDD until he gives up and gives you a shine sprite. I've got to say, despite the repetition, a Super Soaker fight with the antagonist is not something I saw coming. The next thing I have issues with are the secret stages. Each secret stage starts with Shadow Mario stealing FLUDD, and you're required to do a platforming challenge without its assistance. I really enjoyed these levels in the beginning, but the more I thought about them, the more the challenge episodes began to haunt my dreams. I'm a big subscriber to the idea that good game design is expanding on new mechanics and not limiting them. What I mean is you're gonna give me a new toy like FLUDD, don't take it away. I know you have FLUDD when you return for the red coin challenges, but I feel like the order of the challenges should have been reversed if they wanted to take FLUDD away. Let me keep FLUDD the first time and then take him away. Although it could have been much worse. Some devs introduce mechanics and then completely abandon them. Don't worry, we'll get to some of those games in future videos. Something else that bothers me is that there's an easy 1-up to get in all of the challenge rooms. It's like the developers didn't even have faith in their own design and were like, yeah, these aren't fair, so here's a failsafe from getting a game over. Honestly, it feels like they put a bandage over the problem instead of making the challenge room design better. I despise the red coin missions in this game. Each level has multiple missions dedicated to them. Why? There's an entire level to explore and find red coins, but they isolate them down to one small area of the map. And the worst part is it felt like they did this so they could copy the concept in other areas of the map for later missions, which is exactly what they do. It's like their goal was to make red coin hunts as annoying as possible. You know what's a stupid idea? Putting a red coin hunt in the water. And you know how to make this idea worse? Put the red coins in school of fish that swim away from you as you swim to them. And the stupid icing on the stupid cake? They made the red coins go through the walls of the reef where you can't collect them when the fish run from you. This episode is flat out bad and should not have made it past playtesting. And now back to everybody's favorite dinosaur, Yoshi, who is severely underutilized in this game. A good example of this is in episode 6 of Pinna Park. This is a challenge room episode. So to get to the challenge room, you need a Yoshi. No big deal, right? Well, to get said Yoshi, you have to bring a piece of fruit to an unhatched Yoshi egg. But the fun doesn't end there. Oh no. Then you need to make sure it's the right color and model, etc. so the great carousel god will accept it and let you in the challenge room. And you know the worst part, the part that drives me absolutely bananas, is Yoshi isn't even used in the challenge room. You don't use Yoshi for platforming or his juice. You just kind of hatch him and leave him there. He was just a vehicle to get into the challenge room. What was the point? And then there's the final battle. The final battle with Bowser is something that happens. You know, I don't know who went into the meeting and was like, you know what would be a good fight? Bowser in a hot tub. I'm actually fine with the concept of fighting Bowser in the hot tub because of the sheer weirdness and it fitting the game's tone. Quick aside though, look at how big he is here. What an absolute unit. That's a Koopa that's been increasing his protein intake. The actual fight ends nearly as quickly as it begins. You use the rocket nozzle to shoot upward, then ground pound and break parts of the hot tub and tip Bowser out of the hot tub as he spouts fire for Mario to dodge, while Bowser Jr. fires the worst looking bullet bills I've ever seen in a Mario game from his boat. Do this enough times and the fight ends. I mentioned the sheer size of Bowser in this game earlier. earlier, and he would have made such a great, intimidating, and epic Phase 2. Instead, he just kind of falls out of the hot tub and the game just ends. Not to beat a dead horse, but seriously, that's it? Look, I know I've been harping on this game a lot, but it does have good to it. Let's look at some of it. The humor in the game got a few laughs out of me. Did he just call me fat? There are some unique situations in this game that are quite imaginative and fun. One being Ely Mouth's dentist. Have you ever looked at Dr. Mario and thought, man, I really like the concept of Mario being a doctor, but I wish he was an oral hygienist? Well, good news! Super Mario Sunshine's Noki Bay makes your oddly specific desire come true, you weirdo. So this mission requires Mario to go underwater and, I'm not joking, clean the teeth of a giant eel. I want to find something to complain about here, but the concept is just so damn original and unique. And they taught you the proper mechanics in the episode before, so if you fail, it's your own fault. So those are my in-depth thoughts on Super Mario Sunshine. What can I say? Except for when it shines, it really shines, but when it rains, it pours. I know a lot of people hold this game close to their heart and disagree with me. Those people are completely justified in how they feel about this game. This is just my personal opinion on it. At the end of the day, I don't really care for Mario Sunshine and most likely will not be revisiting it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications if you don't want to miss a video. Let me be frank is what I want the future of the channel to be. So let me know if you like the format. If not, I'll find something else. If you want to see me live stream Let's Plays, there's a description and the link below to my Twitch channel with the schedule. And, you know, come follow, just watch, hang out, it's fine. And if you also want, you can follow me on social media, such as Twitter, and that is also in the description below. Alright, thank you guys, have a wonderful day.